All right, Shalom. First, let's start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. And this is just a little video clip on, get the title, Attacking Iran. U.S. will open the gates of hell, George Galloway. Now, if you've been paying attention to the news, which a lot of people don't, but this one is, I'm pretty sure they had this on the regular news stations that Iran shot down an American plane or spy drone, and Iran said it was over their territory. U.S. said it wasn't, but more than likely it was, because the U.S. is always lying and spying on everybody. But Iran been saying this for the longest, that they were going to, if the U.S. invade their sovereignty, that they were going to react. That's the reason why a lot of these drills are happening. So, yeah, and this is just George Galloway giving his take on it, and he's breaking down some information on things that's been going on and whatnot. And, this is prophecy. The Lord said this was going to come to pass because of the times that we're living in. So, let me see. Before I play the video, let's grab a scripture real quick. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse. Give me 1 second. Okay. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24, verse 1. It says, "And Yahushua went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple. And Yahushua said unto them, See ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be left here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down." And as he sat upon the mountain of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the signs of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right? Because the Lord, the way you know the Lord's on his way is by his signs, which his signs are his prophecies. And the disciples were asking these questions back in the day, and these are the same questions that we ask, because we are the same prophets, man. But this is a sign what's going on in the news media as far as Iran shooting an American drone down. And then you seen Trump's response. They almost shot a missile at America, then he called it off. 1, 2. Another statement he made was, yeah, well, maybe the guy who shot the missile was, he didn't say, I think he said idiot or something to the effect that the dude wasn't paying attention, or maybe alluding to it could have been an accident, shit like that, man. But we all, us that's in the know, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shai, know that ultimately it's the Lord, holding them back. Because when it's time to go to war, they're gonna go to war. The elites, the elites know that. Trump taking his orders from the elites. A lot of his orders from the elites. Shit. Let me see. What is the scripture? Proverbs chapter 21, verse 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. Right. So the Lord be guiding these kings' minds and ultimately guiding these elites' minds, because the ultimate agenda is to bring in a new world order. So once Trump made his statement, at the top, they gave that word, man. And if, let's just say it didn't go all the way to the top. Let's just say it was something amongst Trump and his generals and all of that. It's still of Yahweh Shem Shai, because once that third world war kick off, it's a wrap for this place, man. Once they and then we still got another major prophecy, because that's a major prophecy. Another major prophecy is the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast according to the Bible. So when you watch these clips and stuff, you just cycle that information through the scriptures, and you know that it's getting close. It's getting very close. So, but yeah, it says this is back in Matthew chapter 24. It says verse 4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, I'm going to start back at verse 3. It says, and as he sat upon the mountain of olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be, and what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world? Right, the end of Esau's world, this white man's world, and the bringing in of Yahushua's kingdom. That's what they are talking about. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Yahushua, and shall deceive many. And that's the pastors. The pastors, these church officials, proclaiming that they are that they come in the name of Yahushua, which is so called Jesus Christ. According to this word is Jesus Christ. But according to the scriptures, his name is Yahushua. It says, and a lot of people are being deceived by way of the philosophies in these religions. It says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled. Right, and that time is coming to an end, where it's going all these wars and these rumors of wars. I mean, all these rumors of wars is coming to an end, man. As far as the U.S. and Iran go. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. Right. So the end is ultimately going to be when Yahushua returns and shoots laser beams and missiles on this place. Because they're going to get to start that third world war, man. They're going to get to start that third world war. Them other nations are going to join in, But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip.
Well, let me just tell you that if they fire on the Islamic Republic of Iran, they will be opening the gates of hell. This is
right, because that's ultimately going to be that started that third world war, the Battle of Armageddon, the Battle of Jehoshaphat.
Not Iraq in 2003. Iran is not a broken-backed country with an unpopular leader, with no friends and allies in the region or the world. Iran is a vibrant, powerful country of nearly 80 million people, most of them.
Right, and he said is a vibrant and powerful nation. The Lord gave put the spirit on these nations, and ultimately Iran, since I'm speaking of Iran, Slovakia, to build up their missile capabilities, to build their nuclear weapons and stuff. And all praise to Yahweh Shema Shai. And I'm very thankful that the elders woke us up, woke me up, because I got to actually watch these nations, or watch Iran build up his missile technology, build up its missile technology. I actually got to see the documentary where they stated that Iran's nuclear missiles were being made in Mexico. And then there's more information coming out about their nuclear missiles and them getting close or something to that effect. I didn't get to see it, but I heard a couple sayings and words about it. But I actually, through the spirit part of Yahweh Shema Shai, I got to watch these prophecies come to pass, man. That's how I know they real, because they lining up with the scriptures, man. What's the scripture? This is let me get the scriptures. This is Joel chapter 3, verse 10. Nope, I'm gonna start at verse 9. Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men, talking about Russia. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. Right, and that's all the nations getting ready for war. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. And we know the plowshares and the pruning hooks is for farming, agriculture and stuff like that. And they turned it into spears and swords, which is Iran put his money into its military capabilities, its missiles and all that. And they was always showing on the TV, on the news, Iran just got a new missile. This Iran just got a new missile. That this missile going farther than the previous missile and stuff of that nature. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. Right, and Iran was once a weak nation. Now they're strong because they got this technology. They got the nuclear missile, man. All right.
Young people, most of them united at least in their rejection of foreign interference in their country, of a foreign attack upon their country. And Iran is militarily strong in the way that Iraq was militarily weak. The Iranians can fight back, and they will fight back. The drone that they brought down, they say in their territorial waters, gives an indication of the ability and power of their military. They have millions of men and women, for that matter, either under arms or ready to be under arms. For many of those, it would be a pleasure to fight the United States and its allies in the region. And I want to turn to those allies in a minute. Because whichever Persian Gulf country allows its land to be used for the launching of an American attack on Iran will itself immediately be in flames, probably within the hour. The Straits of Hormuz, through which 35% of the world's oil flow, not American oil, by the way, they buy almost none of it, but it will bring the economy of many places, including yours, grinding to a halt within days or weeks. 35% of all the world's oil will be passing through or not passing through a narrow strait that the Iranians can and will easily block. Iran is also...
Right, so this war is going to affect the whole world because everything is being used. I mean, you use oil for damn near everything in the world, And once the prices and stuff go up or whatever it affects in these nations, these people are gonna be upset, but they gonna know that America is the cause of it. A lot of these people not stupid, man.
Unlike Iran.
So they're gonna be willingly ready to fight. A lot of news is going through these other countries on how the U.S. doing what they're doing, and a lot of these people don't like Americans, and they're training themselves, and getting ready just in case anything happens, militarily and just the regular people. Just like over here, how the U.S. citizens are training themselves to get ready for anything to happen, whether it's their government. A lot of them know it's the government, and the police state that's damn near already here, but martial law. And if I'm not mistaken, the police state is here, but that's another topic for another day. But martial law and a lot of people actually doing their training because they believe that the other nations are going to invade America and stuff like that. So everybody getting ready, besides just the normal soldier.
In that it has friends in many, many places, strategic.
Right, and its friends the Russians, the Chinese, the Russians. Who else? Iran has lots of allies, a whole lot of allies. Hold on, that's why I got this document. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, and they have been in the news. I think that for the last year or so, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think they went into too much detail though, but they just came out on Al Jazeera news. It's like a little documentary. They do these 25-minute documentaries. Um, they breaking down what's going on with the Shanghai Corporation Organization, and I think they had um two videos up there. I got them saved, but I didn't get to watch them yet. But I'm just break it down, just read into it a little bit. This is the Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. Shanghai Pact is a Eurasian political, economic, and security alliance, the creation of which was announced on the 15th of June 2001 in Shanghai, China, by the leaders of China, Kazakhstan, um, Kyrgyzstan, how do you say it? Russia, Tajikistan, or Jakistan, and Uzbekistan. How do you say that? The Shanghai Cooperation Organization Charter, formally establishing the organization, was signed in June 2002 and entered into force on the 19th of September 2003. The original five nations, with the exclusion of Uzbekistan, were previously members of the Shanghai Five Group, founded on the 26th of April 1996. Since then, the organization has expanded its membership to 8 countries when India and Pakistan joined. SCO as full members of nine Slovakia joined SCO as full members on the 9th of June 2017 at a summit in Astana, Kazakhstan. The heads of State Council HSC is the supreme decision-making body in the SCO. It meets once a year, just like how the elites meet over here in America. Uh, it says that once a year and adopts decisions and guidelines on all important matters of the organization. Military exercises are also regularly conducted among members to promote cooperation and coordination against terrorism, which is ultimately the U.S., and other external threats, the U.S. allies, and to maintain regional peace and stability, and that's between them, right? But it says criticism of the SCO included that it is used by member states to shield each other from international criticism regarding human rights violations. And we know the U.S. is known for calling themselves being the police of the world to come in these nations because of human rights violations. But okay, this is the 8 member states: China, India, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan, right? And let me see. With a little bit more, it says the SCO is widely regarded. Oh, wait a minute. For observer states, which is Afghanistan, Belarus, Iran, Mongolia. I'm gonna click on Iran. Iran. Oh damn, fuck it. I gotta find the specific part. Is this it? Nope, this ain't it. All right, for observer states. Iran. It says Iran has observer status in the organization and applied for full membership on the 24th of March 2008. However, because it was under sanctions levied by the United Nations at the time because of the U.S. Oh, well, no, this was in 2008. I had to look into that one. It says it was blocked from admission as a new member. The SCO stated that any country under United Nations sanctions could not be admitted. After the United Nations sanctions were lifted, Chinese President Jinping, how do you say the name? Jinping announced its support for Iran's full membership in SCO during a state visit to Iran in January 2016. So this is one of the US's. I mean, this is one of China's allies, and China allies that the ones that's dealing with China with these other 8 member states. Iran didn't help them out in some form, fashion. And then we got Russia, which is a member, which is a part of the Ezekiel 38 prophecy, which I'll be bringing that out in a second. But let me go into this a little bit more. But yeah, it says the SCO is widely regarded as the alliance of the East. See, the alliance of the East. It says due to its growing centrality in Asian Pacific and has been the primary security pillar of the region. See, that's why that's why Russia be stepping in for Iran. You know, not only for Iran, a lot of them nations, but that's part of the Ezekiel 38 prophecy. It is the largest regional organization in the world in terms of geographical coverage and population, covering 3/5 of the Eurasian continent and nearly half of the human population. See, this is just one of the organizations that has that are in agreements with a lot of BS that the US be on, a lot of pacts to combat the US. You see it, they said the humanitarian, the human rights and all that, and the US go into these nations by that in particular, that they're doing something wrong to their people and all that. But the US is the number one country in the world that's got human rights violations. But before I get to the Ezekiel, I wanted to bring this out, make this point, because Iran do got allies that are that got that got allies, you know, that's actually gonna help Iran in the case of this war. But the 8 member states, I'm gonna mention Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Russia, Uzbekistan, and Tajikistan. Which, when you look at the former USSR, you got Russia, you got Kazakhstan. How do you say that? Kazakhstan. You got Uzbekistan, which is number 4, and Russia, of course. Number 1 is Russia. Kazakhstan is 5. Uzbekistan is 4, and who else? Tajikistan is number 12. So the SOC is friends with some former USSR members, in which, when this Third World War kicked off, the allies and the powerful friends that this guy is talking about is going to be China, the former USSR members, and other allies whom I'm gonna get this Ezekiel chapter 38 real quick, because this is all prophecy. All these nations are going to help and side with each other against America. That's why they created the SOC. This is Ezekiel chapter 38, verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, which is the Russians, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. and say, Thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen. Right. So the hooks being put into Russia's jaws, the Lord putting that communist spirit back on Russia. And and then once you do some digging through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema Shah, you find out that Russia still has ties with these other with the former USSR members, in which the U.S. is stirring, the Lord stirring the spirit up, but the U.S. is through the Lord, the Lord is using the U.S. to stir their spirit up and get them upset and angry, and get close and have closer ties and have all these military drills that they've been having, and form these bonds and these relationships and these extra groups on the side to come together to fight against the U.S., man. But it says, I'm going to start back at verse 3. It says, And say, Thus saith the Lord, power, behold, I am against thee, O God, chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. Right, so that's the Russians and their armies and their capabilities. Persia, which is Iran. See, so once Iran get into battle, Russia gonna be get into battle, and then Russia and them allies and their connections and their ties, and when you're in war, you gotta have stuff set up strategically. You gotta have communications on point in these other countries. You gotta have other countries where your ships can take off from. Your soldiers are stashed away and stuff of that nature, man. So. And then this is the Armageddon, and the Lord said all these mugs gonna be involved in it. So, but it says Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet, Gomer and all his band, and house, Aslakia, the house of Togomar of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Right, and if I'm not mistaken, Togomar was it's Turkey. Or Gomer was Turkey. One of them was Turkey. It's Slovakia. But yeah, to see this war that's coming is gonna be with multiple nations, just like how what was it? World War? The previous World War shit. But yeah. This isn't a light thing. But verse 7, it says, Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. See, Russia got to be a guard unto Iran. So once the U.S. actually tries to attack Iran, see Trump, Trump face expression says he thought about the consequences of his actions before he even before he did them, because Russia gonna get involved in this war. It ain't gonna be just no Iran and the U.S. is gonna be Iran, Russia versus the U.S. and then Israel been over there wreaking havoc, like the scripture said. The least of them shall draw them out. So yeah, this gonna be a nice little fight, man. And then when Yahushua come back, they're gonna all turn against Yahushua. They're gonna come together to turn against Yahushua. But nonetheless, this is prophecy, man. And sorry for being all over the place with this. Just, I want to get this information out there, man.
Important places. Let's start with the obvious one. When Britain and the United States broke Iran,
Exactly.
it automatically made Iran powerful. Be passing through or not passing through a narrow strait that the Iranians can and will easily block. Iran is also unlike Iraq in that it has friends in many, many places, strategically important places. Let's start with the obvious one. When Britain and the United States broke Iraq, it automatically made Iran powerful in Iraq. Iraq has millions of allies in Iraq, all of them armed or easily able to be armed. So the first place that will pay the price for a Donald Trump attack on Iran will be American assets and allies in Iraq, in Qatar, in the UAE, from which the drone that was shot down took off, and particularly in Saudi Arabia. Their oil fields are absolutely vulnerable to Iranian counter-attack, and their leadership, particularly the UAE and Saudi Arabia, are held responsible in Iran for American designs to attack their republic.
Yep. Yep. So if you want to actually cut the U.S. Off in the regions, you will hit its and the allies that it uses to take off. Use the drones to take off from. Use where they attack the place where they have their soldiers stationed there strategically. You attack them points that's close to you that they use, and then the U.S. will have to come from all the way from over here in the U.S. to get his to figure out how they're gonna get over there with the ships and all that extra shit. But it's war, man. You got to play this shit the right way when you in battle, and you got to hit the right targets if you want to win the war,
In Lebanon, Iran has millions of friends. It has a whole powerful guerrilla army that are its friends in Lebanon. Hezbollah, inside Palestine, throughout the Persian Gulf region, throughout the world, Iran has friends. And that's why we say, pull these airplanes away. Sail those aircraft carriers back away as far as possible from Iran's borders. This constant ratcheting up of war fever can only end in disaster for all of us. Iran was complying with the nuclear deal, the JCPOA. Everybody else in the world agrees on that, except the United States and its satrapies. No more war. No war in the Gulf. No war on Iran.
Right, and that's one thing that the people fail to realize, which this might be a scripture that comes out a whole lot often. If not from the brotherhood, I'm gonna make sure I bring this out. This is one of my favorite scriptures when I came into truth, and there's a couple of them. This is the one I can remember. You people been living all comfortably, doing all this wickedness, getting over on everybody. Stealing, doing all this wickedness in abundance, man. And now they don't want to pay for what they have done. See, everything happens for a reason. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. No, verse 10. For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and turneth not thither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. So no matter what you people do, say, pray, all that's null and void, man, because this time for the judgment of this world, man. Us men, us that's in the truth, us righteous men that's doing the will and the power of Yahweh Shema Shai, we hate this place. We hate this wickedness, man. We hate the wickedness of this place. We're ready for this stuff to end. We need new rulers. Or the world needs new rulers in righteousness, man. So, or the world's, because when Yahweh Shai come back and give his men the spiritual power, and Yahweh of that elect, we take over this place. It's going to be multiple planets. That's going to be ruled in righteousness by the Lord's elect, man. So I ain't going to drag it up too much longer. All praise to Yahweh Shema Shai, Bashim Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well, and salutations to the brothers that's doing the truth and sincerity. Shalom.